guys, this week we are going to interview 2 other exchange students who are here in Finland with us. Can you guys introduce yourselves?
Hey, I'm Puli. I'm an art student from Portugal and I'm studying here at the moment.
I am Fábio Figueiras. I am also an art student from Portugal and I am studying here in Finland with all of you.
Okay. So the first question for you guys is, how did you choose to come to Finland?
How?
Yeah, like why did you choose Finland?
For me it was because I'm half Finnish and I never had the opportunity to study here because of my parents, so this was a good thing. My school had an exchange program with Finland.
So it was your first choice?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I came here because the alternatives weren't very appealing. It was either this, Spain or Italy, if I remember correctly.
But why not Italy?
Italy looks good. It
Sorry.
looked good, but
It has a lot of mafia.
yeah, a lot of spaghetti and stuff like that.
I mean, that's all I eat.
But Italy is already like almost culture-wise and weather-wise very similar to Portugal. It's of course it's more culturally rich and stuff, but I wanted something different from Portugal. I wanted to live like something like almost radically different, and because
Spain and
Puli and
Portugal
I,
are really close.
yeah, Spain was not even.
Yeah.
No, simply no. And like Puli and I were friends, and she already had decided to go to Finland, and so she was like always recommending me Finland and talking about Finland. And so why not?
Okay.
We're gonna answer the questions too.
We had no other option, so
We could go to Australia or Puerto Rico, and I get sunburnt, so
Yeah,
we came to
so
Finland.
Finland.
Ta-da.
So you can blame it on Pulley, and I can blame it on Morgan.
Hey! See, we got this. Okay, how long have you been in Finland? All of us have been here for
3 months.
3 months.
Yes,
So long.
It's about to make 3 months.
Yeah. When are you guys leaving Finland?
June, 1st of June.
You too?
1st of June,
I am leaving the 18th of May.
Yeah. She's leaving May 18th, and I am leaving June 12th. I'm here the longest.
You are.
What do you like most about Finland?
The weather.
Yeah.
I am gonna answer the weather. I love the weather.
Are you kidding?
You're the only
I don't like the aftermath of the weather, the all skating ring everywhere. But now it's gotten better. But I really love the weather. I love the cold. So, I love how much simpler everything here is. Simple and practical, more practical. Like, and the quality of everything is like much above from Portugal.
For me, it have to be the weather and the people. The weather because, like, for some reason, -17 is way more comfortable than 10 degrees in Portugal. For some reason, but in Portugal it's always raining and there's no fun in snow. It's just rain and sadness all the time.
Yeah.
In the
Very
winter.
Rain and
Yes,
sadness.
it was snowing today.
You? What's your favorite thing?
Let me think.
There is no favorite thing.
I just love all of it. I don't know. Like, I wanted to come to Europe, so I'm glad that Finland is in Europe, although it's a little far away from, like, the center of Europe. But, yeah.
Now you know we're gonna get a salty comment about that. Don't comment about that.
I don't know. I'd probably have to say, like, the school, just because it's so relaxed. It's not really, like, I have to be there all day, every day, so it's a nice break for me.
Mine is not the weather, but it's like nature in general. Because I don't know. Finland is the prettiest place I have ever been in my entire life. So I like just the landscape, and the sky is always so pretty. So yeah. Okay.
All at least in Portugal, art universities are really chill. So.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
that's the thing about
Art.
Finland.
It's
I'll
not.
just
It's
change
Yeah,
not,
but that's half
nature.
of our culture shock is art.
It's
So
not like Finland in specific. It's art.
Yeah.
But like my favorite part of coming to Finland is getting a break.
But also like the weather here, like you can be. We've been at minus 15 degrees Celsius, and it's like it's so much more comfortable and better than 5 degrees in Portugal, because in Portugal, like the air is so humid, and like I'd always have my nose stuffy, I think is what you
Yeah.
say, and like here I've never like breathed better in my whole life, despite the freezing cold.
yeah. Okay, what about your least favorite thing about Finland?
Food.
The damn fucking rice.
That integral rice at school. Why do they only make
Rice.
integral rice?
Why does everybody insist on cussing on my YouTube? Just kidding.
The
Okay,
rice at school.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with the rice? Explain to the people.
Okay, imagine the texture of rice, but imagine you're like biting into steam. You like grab a spoonful of that rice, you put it in your mouth, and it's steam. It's not food, it's steam, just steam.
Tastes like nothing.
It
Just
just tastes really
nothing.
uncooked to me.
Yeah,
so I don't
I always
eat
just
it
think it's
ever.
uncooked.
Yeah.
We don't like the
We
rice.
all have a problem with the rice.
Okay, but seriously, what's your least favorite thing?
The rice margin.
That's your least favorite thing of all of
They
Finland.
said food in
It is.
I
general.
think yeah.
Because yeah, Finland has a very like more vegetarian based
I have a problem with that too.
and well, at least it's a big contrast from Portugal, because Portugal is a lot about the meat.
It's
So,
very meat based.
It's very hard on us to eat something and like appreciate it. It's a bit hard on our
I agree with
tummies.
that.
Yeah, I also don't like the food, but I dislike the weather so much. Oh my gosh. I need it to be warm. I need it to be much warmer without snow. Like, I need to go to the beach. That's what I need.
Just one weekend at the
I
beach.
need to
You
go.
love Portugal.
I probably would.
I personally don't like the lack of small talk. Because it's awkward whenever you try to make small talk, and like the friendly, like fake friendliness that comes with being in America.
Yeah.
Like, I just want somebody to be like, "Hi, how are you?" before trying to talk to me, but not actually want to get into that conversation.
So what you don't like here is the inability to be a fake person.
Absolutely. I don't know, like, I miss, like, the general idea that everybody, like, seems like they care about you.
I don't know,
In
like,
America.
like,
Very weird person.
I know it. It's like the sense that like you still get to talk to people even though like you're not really invested in what they're saying,
Yeah.
but you still get to talk to people and you still like aren't just awkwardly staring at them while they're like bagging their groceries. You would say, "Hi, how are you? How was work?
Yeah.
Are you busy?" Like you would just
I'm
continuously talk.
Like, I need random conversation to survive, and that's not in Finland
Yeah.
at all.
I miss the lack of English. It's a struggle. The struggle
Shut
is
up.
Oh,
real.
don't get
photography
don't even go there.
We're gonna tell a story now. So, for everybody who says that everybody speaks English,
There you go.
they're capable of speaking English, but they don't. Yesterday, we all had a critique in photography class, and multiple people literally just sat there and spoke in Finnish the entire time, and then all of us sent back some salty comments, like, I wish I knew
Very
what you
low-key,
said.
very low-key,
Yeah, I really
low-key.
wish I spoke Finnish so I
Yeah,
understood
so
that.
then I understood that, but I guess I'll comment a random comment anyway.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
have you noticed that at stores they don't always speak English? Like that
Yeah.
one bagger, so they don't speak English. Thank you.
Yeah. Is it hard to get around without speaking Finnish, do you guys think?
I don't feel that. Especially
Yeah,
since
I
we know
know.
already like a few words, and since there's no small talk here, like we just need to say hey, bye, thank you, because it's normal. So
Like you can go shopping and
At
just
very
go-
first, did you think that it was somewhat difficult?
no, not really. It was pretty intuitive.
if the person can't speak like any English and you need something specific, it's very difficult. Like I've tried to go ask something on our kiosk about the internet card,
Oh,
and
yeah.
there was a lady there. The lady doesn't speak any English, so it's like, oh, do you know how this card works? And no speak, no.
That is really my only problems too. Is like random people at stores and stuff.
Yeah.
That and reading instructions on food.
The worst issue is that every single product has translations for every single language except English. It has Danish, it has Russian, Norwegian, Swedish, German, but it doesn't have English in any product. Why?
I'm glad
Every
you mentioned
dialect
that.
is Scandinavian.
Yes.
But it's simple for basic stuff. You can go shopping without saying a word to anyone.
Yeah.
It's true, that's what I do.
Yeah.
I'm totally alone.
My only problem is whenever I like forget to like weigh the fruit or something, and then they start speaking, and I'm like, I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah,
but-
we went somewhere and like I didn't know what she said and like we were just awkwardly standing there and then like she was just holding an item and I was like, I mean, do you want it? Do you not want it? Do you want to go with it? Like, I don't know.
Do you remember when that lady like pulled you from the
Yeah, there was a lady that came to me and she said like
the store lady?
Yeah, a sentence in Finnish. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't speak Finnish. And then she was like, huh. And then repeated the same sentence in Finnish. I was like, I speak English, I'm sorry, I don't understand. Then she went a third time. Okay. And then said the same sentence in Finnish. I'm like, I don't speak Finnish.
That's my struggle.
And then she was like,
She was like so upset for some
Or like
reason.
whenever people say something in Finnish and then you say no Finnish and then they say it slower in Finnish, like no matter the speed of the sentence, I will not know Finnish.
Or that person that came up to us in the store and then shouted that entire sentence in Finnish and then walked away like it was nothing.
Yeah.
That was odd.
We all went to the store one day and like she said, some random person just starts yelling at us in Finnish and then just walks away and we're like,
Okay.
nope.
but then that store lady like called us over, like follow me, but in Finnish, but we got it and we followed the lady, and she started talking to a cashier, and then they stopped talking. They both look at us and we're like,
Did we do something? Are we going to jail? Did I steal something accidentally?
then they talk a bit more, and
Yeah.
the lady turns to us and say, oh, it's nothing, thank you.
I always get really confused whenever they ask for my ID too, because they'll say something and I'm just like, okay, what did I just buy? Oh, I need my ID, and then I have to figure it out by myself. But there's like 30 seconds of me staring at them between me figuring out that they want
what
my
I
ID.
normally
and
do,
that.
like, I picked up, like, this old man was behind me and he dropped, like, all of his coins, so I picked them all up, and then he said an entire sentence, and I said, yo. And then he just continued on, and he just started laughing, and I was like, oh, yo.
Yo,
knee. And then we all continued on, and, like, we were having a whole conversation, and he was laughing, and then I checked out. And I bought something that like goes in a separate bag, and the cashier asked me in Finnish if I wanted a separate bag, and I said, "I'm sorry, I don't speak Finnish." And she looked at the old man. She was like, "Okay," and then said it in English, and then the old man just looked at me, and I was like, it was awkward, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So next question. What do you miss most about Portugal? Nothing.
Friends,
Yeah, it's just
the warm friends, the warmness. Everybody's
it's really
sweet.
just people.
Yeah.
What do you miss most about Portugal, Sarah?
Apparently the weather.
I miss the beaches.
I miss the beaches in Portugal.
Okay, about America.
Probably like people. I probably miss people the most.
I'm gonna sound like a horrible daughter and friend. I just miss science a lot.
Wow.
Honestly, I love you, parents.
Morgan,
I
like your
do.
scientist.
I talk to them all the time, so it's fine.
I miss the food too.
You miss the food?
I miss the oven.
Yeah.
Oh God, oven food.
I miss a decent kitchen.
Yes.
Okay, what about the school here? Have you, like, come to any challenges with the school here? Or, like, what do you like or dislike about the school here?
What do I dislike?
For me, there's nothing I dislike.
Yeah.
I actually like it way more than Portugal because it's such a chilled environment and I actually have time for myself here, which in Portugal, the education system is not done right at all. So there were days that we were like coming at class at 9 a.m. and leaving at 8 p.m. And then, remember, Loureiro, we still needed to go into some extra class to talk to a teacher because in the morning it didn't have time to talk to everyone about our projects. So we would sit like till 9 p.m. in class. There were like 4 classes in one day and we had to carry computers, tablets, like cases from this size with paper and material every and all day. And it's just, Portugal is
different than arts and crafts.
Very stressful education system and it should be a lot more like Finland. And I'm actually learning more in here and have so much free time to work on my own things.
Yeah, it's true. Like, and here they actually teach you stuff. You don't pay $1,000 a year to go to YouTube.
Classes, cause yeah, no worries.
No, like in general, like in Portugal, you very rarely learn something you didn't already knew. Like in photography, we had 2 years of photography prior to this photography. I learned more in a week with that teacher than 2 years with our previous teacher.
Yeah, to us at least I think it's more obvious because we've been studying arts for quite a year, so we know how the art education works. So in Portugal it's being done completely wrong because they don't teach you, they just give you projects and projects after projects. They don't actually teach you anything.
Okay. Likes, dislikes?
Well, I like the school for all the free time as well. But I dislike, like, we had a teacher that didn't speak any English, so it was hard because that was our first class.
Yeah.
That was difficult, so we didn't learn anything because we didn't know what he was saying.
We know how to use plaster now.
Yeah, we should.
We'll use that in our life.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that, like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, they have a lot of breaks, but then at the same time, it's like, they don't do anything, and then they just postpone everything, and then complain about how much work they have, even though they've done nothing for the past, like, 3 months, and I'm like,
Are you speaking of
why?
specific people?
No, of course not.
Of course not. Hopefully that person doesn't watch.
Portugal, the same thing happens. It's really so frustrating. Like, in the very first day, the teacher says, we're gonna do this. We're gonna have 2 tests. You decide the days, and in the whole month you will do this project, and in the final day you will turn in that project. Everyone does nothing for the whole semester. When the tests come, they complain about them, despite them being like assigned from the first day.
I feel like it's an argument.
And then when it's like 2 weeks to present the final project, everyone's freaking out like, oh my god, this teacher is bullshit, he didn't give us enough time. It's like, what?
That's a matter of
Actually,
people.
I think one of my other least favorite things is the fact that people keep telling us to show up at school at certain times, and then they don't show up.
And spend
Like-
1 hour speaking Finnish.
Yes. Like, for example, we had, like, 3 different teachers tell us, be here at this time, we come up this time, and they're like, actually, no, we're not going to do it this time, or they don't show up at all. And then it's like, oh, we have a meeting that we're scheduling, oh, I'm just not going to show up to that meeting. And then, like, or
Us
our-
3 specifically had a meeting to go to, and the person just never showed up. That stereotype that Finnish people are always on time
complete lie.
We do not agree with that at all.
No, and
Except
even-
for with your public transportation.
Yeah.
Like,
But like even yesterday when our teacher said, "Oh, you need to be here at this time to go on this time." Actually, I'm teaching this entire thing in Finnish, so you need to come back in 4 hours. So I'm
we
getting
missed
really
part
irritated
of
about
our
it.
final day in photography because one of our watercolor teachers told us to be there at 10. So we missed photography, and then we sat there for an hour watching him speak in Finnish, and then he came up to us and said, "This portion is in Finnish," and we were like, "No way! We thought that was Russian." Like, no way.
Yeah.
This is more
So-
this is now a venting podcast.
Yeah,
Not an interview.
that is my least favorite thing about the school. Yeah.
Okay.
Favorite thing about the school? Everything is free.
Yes.
It's like
That's
Christmas every single
amazing.
day.
Yeah, that is
We have
amazing.
gotten so many free art supplies. My favorite part of the school is, I don't know, I'm learning a lot about art. I don't think I'm ever gonna need it specifically, but I'm learning a lot.
Hey, everyone could always use a little bit of art in their lives.
I'm learning patience like no other because my kind of painting is it gets done in like 30 minutes. But now I sit for like 3 hours and paint a picture and it's still not done. And then I do that for like 2 weeks straight of the same picture. So that's aggravating, but it's teaching me patience. And my least favorite part of the school is that it's art.
Wow.
I don't think anybody understands how bad I am at art. Yeah, I don't know. I miss like sitting in a desk, hearing somebody speak, writing notes. Yeah, photography was pretty similar to American classes.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, it's
taking an
normal
actual
classes.
test. Yeah, like I miss those structured classes.
Not just the teachers running around the classroom saying something, and half the classes in the couch, and half the classes like looking at the ceiling.
I like those couches. They're great for napping. Love them.
Also, another random thing that like is just different is that people here are not disrespectful, but less respectful to their teachers than American schools. Like we have to call the teacher like Dr. Blank or Professor Blank, and they just call them by their first names here. And then some of them just yell at the teacher whenever they want to. And you guys said that you do that in Portugal, and I still can't understand that.
We don't yell. We're not like.
Would you say it's
we're
more
not
respectful
rude
here or
to the
less?
teachers for no reason.
But
I
like
believe
on average, is it more respectful than here or less?
it's more like friendly because it's not a matter of like you can call someone by their first name and still highly respect that person. It's more a friendly relationship because like in here there's no small talk and then but people are really cold. But in Portugal, like a lot of people are friends with the teacher and some even hang out with the teachers like afterwards or have lunch with the teachers.
Yeah.
Fridays in Towers.
We have lunches with our teachers every
But
Friday.
all
in
of the
cafeteria.
teachers sit in the same table, and then all the students sit like around that table.
It's supposed to be us getting to know them, but
Wow.
it's not really working. So
I almost dropped my phone.
The teacher looking down on us on your wall.
they just don't want to socialize with the students.
Yeah,
They're like,
it's
we're
a
gonna
very
come
like
up with-
professional mindset between teacher and student.
Yeah,
And
we
I-
see them, like, we see all of our teachers, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, like if I saw
Like,
my teacher in
hi.
Walmart or something, or City Market or whatever, then I would never speak to them. I'd be
Now
like,
I'd be like, hello.
I'd be like, what do you mean? You're not in the teacher's lounge right now? Like what?
If I saw like my stop motion teacher is one of my favorite teachers. If I saw him at the market, I'd go to that man. I'll shake his hand. Hey man, how are you doing? How's your farm going? I know you've been cleaning your garden.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you heard of any stop motion films good ones coming out lately? Do you have any good
I
bands?
like that.
You have any more good bands? Slayer's really cool.
It's not that I dislike it, but I don't know. It's just different here.
Yeah, well, like, we've seen a lot of people just be like, to the teachers here, like, no, I'm busy. You need to come back later. And I'm just like, excuse you. Like, you can't tell that to a teacher. Like, I'm sorry, I'm actually busy
Yeah,
right
leave
now.
me alone.
And I'm just like appalled. Like, I don't understand how you can possibly get away with that. But it's different.
I actually think it's more respectful in a way, because this environment is more like a laboratory, a workshop where everyone respects each other at the same level. There are no like hierarchy, and while being in a hierarchy, teachers usually don't care and shit on students, and you are obliged to, well, praise them as a god and your teacher, while here everyone is at the same level. Everyone can learn from each other. The teacher can learn from you, you can learn from the teacher. So you treat, I think in a way that's way more respectful.
I definitely feel more equal here, but again, it's just a weird
Yeah.
like feeling to wrap your mind around. Okay, so the next question is: have you guys ever felt the need to like defend Portugal here?
Do
No,
they
because no
ever
one
say
cares
anything?
about Portugal.
I was like, I've never heard any Finnish people say anything about Portugal.
No one in the world cares about Portugal. So.
The world doesn't even know Portugal exists.
Yeah.
It'll become part of Spain eventually.
Oh.
Yes.
Aww.
No, that I
Maybe
refuse.
Spain will just become a part of Portugal. Maybe
Yeah, Portugal is
the
is
knight in
expanding.
your story will come back and just take over the world.
Yeah.
One day.
In the
He
foggy
will come
morning.
back.
We had it all. We had it all once. We'll have it all again.
There we go. Yes.
Okay. Yes. I think that it would have been better for us if Donald Trump wasn't just elected our president, but we had to defend America quite often. Yeah.
The only thing in all of the world, few people know about Portugal. The few that know about Portugal, it's because of football. So when they hear Portugal, it's like, hey, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
It's
True.
It's that
the fucking
poor
football.
small country that only has soccer.
Yeah.
Which in a way it's right. And
That's
that's
honestly
a
how
little sad.
I know, like, I watch soccer and it's always Portugal. That's honestly how I know.
It's about soccer and COD.
Yeah.
Like COD memes and stuff.
I thought you meant God at first, and
No,
I was like,
no,
what
no.
does God have to do with
Well,
Portugal?
also that people in Portugal, like a quite quantity, are still very religious, because the population in Portugal is aging up a lot, and less people are having children, and all of the old people are very religious, and
Yeah.
there's still people of our age that also are quite fond of God and such.
Interesting.
Okay, in Portugal, is there any like mindset about Finland, like general stereotype about Finland?
Yeah, I was actually just talking about that to a colleague of mine back in Portugal, and she was asking me like stereotypes about Finnish people and how was I feeling here, and she was like, oh, are Finnish people rude? I heard a lot of people tell me that they are rude and such. And I went on a tantrum defending Finnish people like, you fucking what? Because she was insulting half of me.
Oh, that's true.
Just your right half.
Yeah, just my right half was very insulting. But yeah, to Latino people, Scandinavians seem as very rude and such, because there's no small talk and it's more reserved and introverted people, while Latino people are all about parties and getting drunk and sleeping with everyone. And so talking to a Scandinavian person that is just like standing in their own corner, just like reading or doing something and not actually socializing, that is come off as a very rude and mean person.
So would you say that stereotype's true?
No.
Well, she defended herself, her right half.
The stereotype that I had in Portugal about Finland was that everyone was constantly drunk and constantly angry and constantly alone.
Wow.
How are those stereotypes coming up?
Well, the drunk part only at night, I guess, because because like people. How many parties would you say like the students have
Like
in your
4 times a week.
Yeah, and
Probably at least 4 times
yeah,
a week.
They do
it's
drink
alright.
a lot
And
here.
when they do, they drink a
They
lot.
drink a lot.
So, but they're not always angry, and they're when I came here, I got amazed about how like cheerful some everybody is when like you actually go talk to them. I actually like expected everyone to be like more angry or sad.
um, well, the only stereotypes I heard were from Redman, Gordon, but like that they were more introverted, which is true, and that they were like more reserved and don't have small talk, which is true, and all the things about sauna, which is true.
Oh my gosh, sauna.
So like I would say all the stereotypes that I heard about Finnish people, but I think they're just darker people. Like I think it's funny that you said they're cheerful because I like always see them as dark because they make like suicide jokes and they make jokes about like
I think
how
I meant, like
sad-
skin color at first, and I was like, who have you been looking at? Go on,
no,
sorry.
that like they like are so sad about the weather.
I wouldn't say darker. I'd say colder people.
Yeah, or like
That would
and,
make sense.
and the fact that there's like no other like nationality except Finnish people, and it's so true because like you can go like weeks and only see Finnish people. Like other than the exchange students, there's no one else that I see that's not Finnish.
Yeah,
So
that
like
is
they're
true.
all Finnish. So
We're out in the middle of nowhere.
it's
as
very
well.
true.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Except for those two girls they're like half Russian. So there's them.
Yeah.
And, like this has
I
no
heard that it was
immigrants. The immigrants come here and no, it's too cold. And they go.
I heard that it was cold all the time, which true. I heard that the sun never shines, which that's a lie now because there's more sunlight than not sunlight now, and it's upsetting me because it wakes me up so early. And I heard that they are just really shy people, and that would come off as rude. But like they are shy, but in a way, I kind of like the fact that like it takes a while to get to be their friend. But I feel like now that I'm certain ones of their friends, like that friendship won't stop once I leave. Like I feel like they're very loyal to their friendships after you get over the like 2-month hurdle of I don't want to be your friend. Sorry, hold on. In your opinion, what's Finland's greatest strengths and weaknesses? This is like a job interview for Finland.
I've kind of been over that. It's like because this is our opinion. It's like Finland's greatest strength is the weather, I guess.
What about like socially?
Socially,
Like how it fits in with the rest of the world?
it doesn't. I don't
What
think,
is it contributing?
because Finland is that guy in the corner that is like really quiet and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
On the other hand, is the smartest one
Yeah.
in the room. Like the thing about Finland, like the disadvantage, I would say, it's that it's a very closed country from the rest of the world. And the advantage of that, it's because they're a very closed country of the world. So they actually have advanced way more than many of most countries. So, for example, my favorite part is also like what we were talking about, our classrooms and the interaction between teachers and how you say pupils, I don't know, work. In between is how everyone works. Like for example, the president of Finland is just a normal guy, just going around with normal clothes, and everyone respects each other and everyone tries to learn from each other. That is the biggest advantage of Finland, and that's why I think it's the biggest advantage, because they've all evolved so much, because there are no hierarchies, there are no separations. Everyone is also very open-minded.
There's also not very conflicts in Finland, because it's like nobody wants anything to do with Finland, because they like you'd look at this place at first glance and you think that it's very inhospitable because it's all forests and it's all lakes. Like, there's
Well, they are
nothing
true.
like there's nothing there to take advantage of, but that like sort of solitude I think it's what made this country so advanced in almost every field. In education, it's the best country in the world. In healthcare, it's one of the best. Quality of life is one of the best. And it's actually really amazing to see that how a country like it's isolated, but it's at the same not very isolated. But it's amazing to see how evolved it became after being so up here in the north.
I'd say like socially, the greatest advantage, like they're very true to themselves, like they're very in their own customs because they are isolated and stuff that they hold their own like traditions very high. But we've made so many jokes about like we feel like we're living in the past here, so it's kind of funny your comment because like there's like it specifically in this town, not necessarily everywhere. Like it's so like from the past that like in America we have just like new buildings being made like every day, so it's weird here. It's like the school is like the newest building in Kongkampa and it was built like 30 years ago, so it's like it's kind of odd because it's like you don't see that like giant improvement. Or like I would say like a pretty common thing, like we don't have a dryer here, like it's not very common, but like in America like everyone has them, so it's kind of like odd because it's like living in the past here, like our parents' generation here. So like and I'd say like their greatest or worst part of it would be that like because they hold their own, I feel like they're very fast to say like that is the correct and only way. Like to them, like they're not like they listen to other people's like cultural things, but I still think that they like only see their own as the best.
Like Finland is a very practical country. Like that's like there's no need to build extra buildings or extra houses, so why build them? If it's not broken, don't fix it. Like
it's true, but like a very practical, like it is more practical to have a vent than it is to have a radiator because that's more of a fire hazard. Or like it's more like I don't know, it's faster to put your clothes in a dryer than it is to sit them out everywhere. So like I think that we have very practical
But the
things
thing is,
as well.
like, you don't need it, and these radiators are actually really safe. I have my bed and bed sheets against it, and it's completely okay.
Pause. Do not comment that is a fire hazard. Because when we said that we had the clothes on the radiator, like 70 people commented on that. And for the record, just want to clear that up. The radiator's not on whenever we put the clothes on.
And putting cloth on warm metal is not a fire hazard.
Well, it kind of is.
No, it's just warm metal. It's
Oh my gosh.
Please just don't comment about the radiators.
putting a sock on a hot stone. It's not gonna catch on
I
fire
thought you
by
said
itself.
stove, and I was like, yes, that will catch on fire.
I just think
Stone.
there's a lot like of practical things like in America that I wish that was here because I think they're a lot more practical.
Superfluous.
I would say it's a stereotype that we're lazy, but like I think that our laziness brings up more convenient things.
I think we're very like we don't need the drying rack because we have a dishwasher, and then you can just like we don't need it, so like we don't have it.
I'm gonna miss that drying rack.
Yeah, I do like it, but I would say like I think it's
so
kind of
practical. I've never seen something so practical.
It is.
It is so great.
But yeah, no, it's fine.
I think the biggest bonus of Finland is... Hold on. We're going to go with weakness first. We've got to end on a high note for this question. So I would say, just like how you said that, like, I don't know, I thought that it was generally an American thing to be like, no, my way of doing something is right and your way of doing something is wrong. But I think that's a lie. I think that everybody in the world is like that. And I feel like since they are so isolated that they extra want to defend their way of living. And, like, that's nice for them, but don't imply that I'm stupid for thinking what I think. Unless I'm like, I want to kill 10 people or something like that, then imply that I'm stupid and call cops. But
Give us the permission.
yes. But yeah, just certain things that are just like culturally different. Like, I am trying to respect your culture as much as physically possible. Please respect mine as well. Kind of way. And I've actually had to tell people that statement.
Yeah. I also
Yeah.
think it's really like weird because it's so only Finnish people in Finland. They are way more. They might not realize it, but they are way more racist than like I even thought. Like it is very odd. Like they say the most like rude comments about like other race because they're not used to like being around them, and I take offense to it a lot. But
you know how many comments I'm gonna get about that one? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm a little salty about the comments at the moment because I just got like 5 about the same thing.
And
yeah.
do you know how many comments and racial stuff and stuff we have to defend about Portugal we had? 0. Nobody cares about Portugal.
So
Nobody
you're
cares.
from America.
Yeah. Nobody cares about Portuguese people as well.
No. But I think it's one of America's greatest strengths is that the fact that we have so many diverse populations that like Finland has no diversity at all. And
they
it's
have
kind of
Sweden.
Like they have Swedens and Russians, and that's it. But there's no immigrants, so it's like yeah.
All Finlands are the same. All Finns.
All Finns.
You know, they are the same person.
I would say the biggest like benefit of like socially that Finland has is like a lot of places around the world are like comparing themselves to Finland about what you said, like the like quality of life here is much higher, and like even like death age is higher here, and like education and everything like that. But at the same time, like Finland's government doesn't push that on to anybody. They're just like, hey guys, we're doing great, and if you want to follow us, then that's fine, but you don't have to. And I like that a lot about Finland's government. I don't know a lot about its government.
Finland's old people are really healthy. They're like always
they are super healthy.
Walking everywhere, always so cheerful and radical hairs.
They have so much energy, like I don't even understand.
Yeah, that's a big difference. Like people in here are very healthy. They go to the gym and eat like a lot of vegetables and healthy food. And even like people with 60, 70 years old look like 50 or something. Yeah, and back in Portugal, you get like 50-year-old ladies like completely dressed in black, going like this, and just completely closed-minded and everything. Just, it's big difference.
So I think there's only like 2/3 questions left because I don't know if one of these is going to be 2. So has your experience here helped you think of the world differently and even Portugal differently?
Yes, of course. It's impossible to go somewhere else like different from your country, and not have it affect your vision of the world.
Okay, so how has it affected your vision of the world?
Portugal is a very small country. You can within less a day, of course, but travel from one end to the other, and even at like casual speed, like by car, and still have plenty of time to spare. So we're very used to this idea that countries are small and that our world is small. So when we go to, when we get to, well, at least I speak for myself. When I got to travel, just traveling by itself, it's so eye-opening because, like with the internet and everything, the world has become really small, and it's very hard to imagine the massive scale of the entire planet and everything it has to explore. And just like taking 7 or 8 hours by bus to get to another city, that's like eye-opening because that's I know Americans even but to me it's like whoa, that's so long. I could have been like almost in France by now.
I wish that was the case.
Well, it's like states,
And it really opens one's eyes to how big the world is and how much it has to offer and to explore, and just how radically different it can be from what we're used to.
It doesn't. It didn't affect me at all.
Well,
Because I was already so used to this, and the way I am, I think I relate myself to Finnish people a lot. So I'm actually pretty more comfortable here than in Portugal. Just the way I work and how I act, I'm more comfortable here. Maybe I think I've gotten a bit colder and even more introverted in here because everyone is like that, so I don't need to go out of my way to socialize and do small talk like I need to do in Portugal. But I haven't changed anything of my aspects in here.
I'm definitely more comfortable here as well. But like we discover all these things like we've been talking about Finland. It's just Finland. Imagine if we go to India, or imagine if we go to China.
I always said, like, I've been saying for the last, like, week that I feel like I wouldn't have had such culture shock if we would have gone to a non-Western culture, because everything there is so different, while here it's so much like home, but, like, the smallest things are so different that, like, I almost forget about the smallest things that are different until they happen to me, and then I'm just shocked every time.
Yeah. It's a little frustrating, like, this and this are the same, so why isn't this?
Yeah.
I would say, like, it's definitely changed it because, like, I mean, we're on a different continent, so there's that. But, yes, it's different because I realize just how similar people are in general. Like, I hear so much stuff about, like, Americans or this, but, like, the rest of the world is so much better, and, like, they're this and they're that. But, like, coming here, I realize that, like, people just are the same in general. So, like, all of these, like, things that I've heard, I'm now just throwing them out because I was like, they're not true. So I realized that, like, we're more similar than I realized.
I agree with that. I think it's interesting, like, per person, like, you get upset about the same things, you're happy about the same things. Like I've had conversations here with people about certain things that I like in America that, like, I don't know anybody else who likes in America. Specifically, like, I don't know, in America it's weird, my music sense. So, like, I don't know, I've had more conversations here with people about my weird Korean music than in America, and I feel like that is it kind of just blows my mind to say, like, people all over the world like the same things, and, like, you still do the basic things the exact same. Although, I don't know, I am gonna take a lot back from Finland. Like, I'm not gonna, like, dread those awkward silences anymore.
The nakedness.
Yeah.
And nakedness.
We
Oh
still
my
won't
gosh.
see it in America. So
Yeah, right. That will change as soon as we get back to America. Here we see a lot of naked people. At home, never.
Just
Eventually, we're gonna
scrolling
make, like, a
around.
5-minute video just about sauna.
Today's sauna day, guys.
It is
But-
indeed, yeah.
Good old sauna.
And we're still on time to go.
Oh yeah, let's go.
No thanks. But yeah, I've learned a ton in Finland that just makes me appreciate home more, but then appreciate, like, the cultures that aren't my home more. Okay, I think this is the last question. Has being in Finland helped you gain the ability to communicate effectively within and among diverse cultural groups?
Well,
It's
that
not
was
very
Finnish people,
diverse.
You can't talk to them.
What is the question? Is being in Finland
Has helped you be able to communicate with other people better. Not just, like, physically talk to them, but
With different backgrounds, like people with different backgrounds. Like if you only talk to Portuguese people, now you're talking to like Americans and Finnish people
And
Turkish people.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you're always learning, and whether you want it or not, because, like, in Portugal, people are really warm, so you can, like, the very meeting when you meet someone. I can't remember if in America you do that, but complete strangers, like, kiss themselves on the cheek, but just like a formal meeting.
we go, hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's like women always do the kisses and men always do a handshake.
And like
Or
a
a hug.
giant pat on the back, like those
What
like,
would, like,
hey!
a girl do to a guy? if a girl and a
kiss.
guy are meeting.
A kiss. Yes, kiss on the cheek.
And then a handshake?
No.
Do
Ju-
both.
Just
Hi.
and it's like you learn more like you learn more respect. You learn more respect about people because like I was going like Portuguese are really warm and you can and they have really warm greetings. But in here in Finland you can't do that because it's
Try to kiss a Finnish
yeah.
Not happening.
It's
Please
not,
try to kiss a Finnish person.
it's not
You'll
gonna,
have to marry them first.
you have
on
to
the
fuck
name.
them first. But yeah, that doesn't happen here, and it's good to learn about those differences, and then and it like makes you wonder about which one would be more appropriate for everyone, and yeah, like a handshake is more appropriate than a kiss on the cheek. Or- and yeah, it always influences you. So,
Yeah, I think it has been a very mind-opening experience to know so many people from different places, and just by even like going on the bus to somewhere and just talking to people on the way, to the bus driver, to the people who are next to you, it's just you get so much, and it's just like a new experience that changes you, even if it is like a very tiny experience. Like for example, I was coming from Pori here on a night, and it was just me, an old lady, and then a man with his two daughters, and they didn't look Finnish because they had more of an, I would say, Indian Asian type of look. And they were so sweet, and the little girl came to me and asked me something in Finnish. I was like, I'm sorry, I have no idea what you're saying. And then, but they were like really nice to me, and they started talking in English and asking me about the bus timetable and everything, and talking about a little bit about themselves and what were they doing because they had a lot of bags. And even in the bus, I had lost a coin. I was putting like the coins back in the wallet, and it fell and it disappeared because it was night, so I couldn't see anything. And one of the little girls got like the father's phone, and she went with a lantern, looking under the seat for my coin.
That's cute.
And it's just like you get so many nice experiences here, and yeah, I really like this, especially to meet different cultures, different people.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I really like talking to you guys and Naz and Edda, like people from different countries and stuff, because it's really interesting to see like what they think of things and like what they normally do, and so I really like it.
Yeah. I would just say that like it is a huge difference, like the way people talk to each other here. And like while that took a long time for me to get used to, like I appreciate that I know that now. Like of people of different diversities, like just generally act and talk differently than I do, and I didn't know that beforehand. So like the first month or so here, it was really difficult to talk to Finnish people in general. And then especially whenever we went on our trip like around Europe, because all of the countries are so different that we went to, that it really just put things in perspective for me that not everybody appreciates the same things, which is contradicting what I said last answer. But that everybody is also different in their own unique ways, and that I do need to just respect everybody's culture and realize that there is a difference between them. And language-wise, I'm getting great at Finnish. And by great, we all know like 6 words. So,
yeah.
It's better than nothing.
Put together.
yes. Yeah,
We
together.
can all come up
We
collectively
all
with
know
6 words.
Kitos.
Kitos.
Perfect. Yeah,
Yo.
but I've learned a ton in Finland.
It's also like you mentioned like about the respect, and it's eye-opening to see what is a joke to some, it might be really offensive to others.
Yeah, we especially know that too.
And like in Portugal, I think it's in all of Europe. uh, things that are very serious with the world, they are taken very lightheartedly, because that's just how we do it. Imagine it like a way of coping with it. But in America, it's completely different, and something that happened like a lot of years ago, it could still be very offensive if you mention it. It's a very good thing that like we talked about this on the first few days that we met.
Yeah.
Set the boundaries like no 9/11 stuff.
I don't know if that's all Americans actually that keep things so like close to them about those things, but us specifically.
Well, yeah. Like, the closer you are to those events, then the more,
Yeah.
like, it's hard.
But yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Like, suicide is a huge joke here, and I realize that like it's a way of coping, and yeah, but it just surprised me. Like, the very first person that we met in Finland.
Yeah, literally gave us a lanyard with a, like,
Zipper?
zipper and said, well, if Finland gets too much for you, you can just kill yourself with this zipper. And
we
was
were like, I full out said, I was like, well, I hope it doesn't get to that point.
Oh my god. Like, it was our first day here. Like, we literally just
Nice
got
impression.
in. And I was like,
Okay.
And it's like it's not, we don't like rob the things of their meaning. Like it's still serious, but we just joke about it.
yeah, and we do as well. It's just like stuff, like, it's very specific to countries. And you
Like
have to
if
get
you
used to
go
it.
to talk to someone seriously about suicide, they'll be very like worried and stuff, or serious. But just bring it up as a joke, everyone laughs about it because it's taken lightheartedly.
Yeah, we're very fond of dark humor.
Yeah.
I would say a lot of people joke around about stuff like that in America, but definitely not to complete strangers.
Yeah.
And even like the Holocaust jokes, like I feel like most people our age now realize like they're not funny in America. That if somebody says to them, we're like, and then kind of just like move on. Yeah, that is a huge difference.
And even in Germany you have the half of Germany that loves Nazi and Hitler jokes, and the half of Germany that will kill you if you say one.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think like, it's just interesting getting used to like people's like you're so used to like I already know what I can and cannot say to you, but it's weird like what can I like talk to you guys about. So it's interesting like talking to other exchange students because you get to know like what they think about stuff.
Yeah, I feel like I've learned more from you guys and Naz and Etta than I have about Finland, which is ridiculous. But I think it's because we talk to you guys most.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. But overall, you guys happy you went on abroad?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Of course,
definitely a great experience.
Yes. I'm very happy we went. Yeah. Okay. So that was it. Sorry it was so long, guys. But we'll see you the next video.